This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
And again, good morning to the television audience. We welcome you into our living room. It's actually one that we took over. We are squatters. We moved into the home of Roy Acuff, and we're not leaving. He's long gone now, and we're not leaving.
Is he? I don't know if he is.
You know what? There are days.
I know.
While, especially when I'm in here by myself, and I'm kind of like, yeah. I think I felt a little something.
Quite possibly get out of my house.
Quite possibly, Kelly Sutton here. And there's Charlie Manos and Annie Nye. And look, we got Joel. Joel Wilson is in master control upstairs today.
Yes.
So great to see him. And Joel's got this very, if you follow and know Leo Tolstoy at all, you will know that incredible beard of his, or William Lee Golden even. But
I was thinking Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah. But so I said, off the air a minute ago, up in Master, I said, women will say to other women, "Oh, I love what you've done with your hair." I was like, "I love what you've done with your beard."
It's very thick.
It has gone rampant, is what it has gone. So welcome into a calm Monday. It's just crazy what we've been through. We were talking about this in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
It was a week ago on a Sunday night, Monday morning that you guys were in the basement. Yeah. And then subsequent to that, as the week wore on, you were back down there 2 or 3 more times, you said.
So just for everybody at home, our basement isn't like completely finished. It still has some, it's rough. It's a rough basement, but it's nice enough. We've got like carpet and stuff that we've put out. Nothing fancy. It's where we work out and stuff like that.
But it's big.
So it's big.
It's not like you're in a closet.
Right. And we have an air mattress that we blew up that's down there. And then one of the memory foam toppers that we pulled off of one of the other beds. And basically, I just left them up. I was like, you know what? I have a feeling we're probably going to need these again. Yeah. And we've slept in the basement a couple of nights. But it's better than being woken up in the middle of the night and then having to run downstairs.
And the laundry room that housed the Mattises during this storm.
Right.
How big a room are we talking about?
Well, if you took the washer and dryer out, there'd be a little more space. Not a whole lot.
Yeah.
The actual standing space is probably 3 by 4.
So does
Renee was on top of the washing machine. Jackson was on top of the dryer. I was just standing, and the dog was the best behaved out of all of us.
Oh my gosh!
Well, that's what's been going on in our world. And I don't know about these two, but Rebecca and I slept through it.
Nice.
We were awakened. I don't think she even woke up. I was awakened maybe 4 or 5 times with lightning and those rumbles of thunder that you're like, holy smoke, this must be what it's like when you live in a community in a war zone that gets bombed, because your whole house shakes and it goes on for an extended period. It's like, holy
You need to live in Davidson County. They want to make sure you're awake, because we have the tornado sirens right across the street from us. Then we have the
That's the
alarm.
one that I can't handle.
Right. Then they call you to make sure that you got the and heard the thing and leave you a voicemail.
We don't get the phone call.
And then they text you. So they called and texted me along with the sirens. Don't get me wrong. If we had actually had to evacuate, I want to be awake.
What's the sound again?
Hey, by the way, I was listening to WSM over the weekend too. Why, with all the technology, do the weather updates still sound like they're from a 78 from 1925?
The National Weather Service has run a tornado warning for Davidson County, southeastern Murray County,
I guess it's
southeastern Williamson County.
You're not wrong.
Like, who is this guy? It's terrible.
It must
It's a
be
computer.
It's digitally generated.
Well,
all
we
I
can
figure.
AI anything in the
No,
world.
that's
Can
the
we
problem.
not get this guy back?
We're doing
him?
EI instead of AI.
We need an AI.
That was it. E-I-E-I-O.
And we have a national championship in college basketball that I don't think anybody expected, watching that Duke game, that it was going to turn out that Houston would win that thing in an 11-1 run at the end. So Florida, who beat Auburn over the weekend, will be playing Houston for the national championship. And I saw where Kelvin Sampson, the coach at Houston, said, "Hey, don't count us out. Don't underestimate us. We don't play in the Toy Poodle League. You understand?"
Oh,
All right.
words have been thrown. Oh my gosh.
He was bringing it in that press conference. So.
Holy cow.
Kelly, what you working on?
We talked about it earlier. We want to show you the inside of Odie's. It's Old Dominion's bar. They actually shot a video inside. Nope. Can't get a drink. Can't go in. No food is served yet. but we'll show you what it looks like coming up in just a few minutes. Plus, Megan Maroney out on tour. I love this. She took a note from a former ACM winner and decided she was going to help clean up her own mess. So that is coming up. Plus, National Bell Bottom Day. In case you didn't get a chance to celebrate over the weekend, you can break out the bell bottoms today and celebrate with Lainey Wilson.
And she came to see us late in the show last week. We're going to encore that for television this week. Carter Faith, who played the Opry last Wednesday night, is here and got a brand new thing called If I Had Never Lost My Mind on Coffee, Country, and Cody all over the world on WSM Radio and Circle Country Television. Take your memory with you when you go. Kelly Sutton, good morning.
Where are we going?
Where you want to go?
Ooh, you know what? I think I want to go to Whataburger. I haven't been.
Oh, yeah.
Haven't been in a while.
Good call.
I'm just saying.
Who was it? Billy Paul Jones, Cheryl White's husband, my friend. You call him and say, "What are you doing, man?" He said, "I'm out riding around. Get in."
Get in. Out riding around. I haven't been out riding around in a long time. Probably because I'm trying to teach somebody how to drive. And I don't want to go riding around.
That sounds so inviting. And here I am on the other end of the telephone.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the invite, Billy Paul.
All right. Out riding around very soon. Little Big Town just announced, everybody. They have a new tour. It's going to be happening this summer. And our friend Carter Faith is going to be opening a lot of those shows. How cool is that?
See what we've created.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's got so much going on. I love this.
So she'll do Carly Pierce for 12 dates first, and then Little Big Town. Well, that's a good summer.
That's a great summer. So their Summer Tour 25, bringing signature harmonies to amphitheaters across North America. Let me tell you, it's going to be a good time. They've got 22 cities to start out. It's going to be July 24th, Walmart Amp in Rogers, Arkansas. So you can head over and see them. Then they've got St. Louis and Saratoga Springs, and then they're going up to Toronto, Tampa, Salt Lake City, Phoenix, all kinds of dates. They're going to be all over the place. They wrap it up September 13th. So I think right now, the working title is just Summer Tour 25. I like it. You know what? It's easy. It's simple. Why
some
not?
of these tour names have gotten too clever. They're too busy.
Yeah.
They don't roll off the tongue.
Right. High Road, the High and Live Tour, which is Keith Urban. So they have direct support from Winona Judd, Carly Pierce, Ashley McBride, Russell Dickerson, Carter Faith, and Shelby Lynn opening certain ones. So
And we
it's
just
all
saw
different.
Shelby with Karen Fairchild in an Opry Rewind just a little bit ago.
There you go, everybody. New stuff. Excited to see them. Well, let's talk about Old Dominion. Man, it's been a while. I know I keep harping on it. I think it's just because I really want to be invited to the grand opening, so I hope that if I talk about it enough, I'll get the invitation. Old Dominion opening a bar, Odie's. It's in Midtown. So it's been delayed. Let's just put it that way. However, their new music has not been delayed. They have a new song that they just released, and they released a video with it. There is a line in the song that mentions a dark little bar in the heart of Nashville nights. So Old Dominion, being the geniuses that they are, said, we have a dark little bar. In fact, it's not even open. Let's shoot the video there. I think they're getting their money's worth for their set design, right?
Yeah.
They said, hey, we're going to be in the middle of the bar. Shoot around us.
Yeah, I think they will probably, if the right things are going, trying to get this place open, they'll be out busking on the street in front of the bar.
Maybe. You know, the great thing is now that it's featured in a video, is it a tax write-off?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Just put it out there for you guys.
Kelly
'cause I
Sutton
know.
thinking
I'm
her way
trying to
through tax season on behalf of Little Big Town and Old
And
Dominion
Old
this morning.
Y'all keep all your receipts. That's all I'm saying. So the current hit coming home is Top 15. They are going out on their summer tour, and it's called the How Good Is That Tour this summer. Well, Megan Maroney is currently out on the road, and she, like many artists at the very end of her show, wants something big and spectacular and fun, and so confetti cannons. And that's awesome until you have to clean up the mess. So she was running
I feel
around.
like we should go help them.
She sees this mess that she's left, and she says, anybody got a spare broom? She goes running out. They gave her a broom, and she starts cleaning up all the confetti.
I'm here to help.
I don't know how much help she was.
I love the fact that she almost tripped on the rubber matting, too.
Right. She's sweeping up with a regular broom, but then she finds the little Zamboni she can ride to suck up all the confetti. Again, Is she helping? Is she having fun? Who knows? But I do think it's pretty great. Instead of going and hanging out on the bus, she decided to go and help everybody clean up. I don't know how many pounds of blue and white confetti get shot out each and every night, but that's a whole lot of mess.
See, this is where you need the Taylor Swift fans, because they just collect it and bring it home.
That is
and
true.
put it in a bag as a souvenir.
And sell it on eBay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, I've thought we should do that at the Opry for the longest. We should have a human cannon, not like a confetti cannon, and just choose a member of the Grand Ole Opry and stuff them down in there and shoot them into a net in the balcony.
Who would be the first one to go? Chris Jansen?
Oh, yeah. That's a
I
good
think
call.
he would.
That's
I
a
think
good
he
call.
would really. I think he
Yeah.
would embrace it. I think he would really enjoy it, and I also think he'd be very aerodynamic.
And he would fit better down in the cannon
Sure.
than a number of people that I'm thinking of right now. It'd be a tight fit.
I
They
could,
may
think,
not
I,
come
could
out.
think, I could think of a few I'd like to put in the cannon. But
Really?
I don't know who would volunteer to go in the cannon. So.
Okay, this is an update from over the weekend. Charlie, I don't know if you've seen it yet. The Minecraft movie, is it on the list? Are you guys going to see it?
I really want to see it. I think it looks cute and funny.
Yeah.
And Jackson does not really want to see it.
Really?
Yeah, he's past Minecraft. He's into Roblox now. And
Got
so
it.
I don't know. He doesn't think it's very realistic looking, but I want to see it.
Okay, Minecraft movie is a winner in the box office over the weekend, a whopping $157 million. The
Yay.
biggest domestic debut of the year. They thought that it might bring in 70 or 80 million, but they blew past that. It was number one. Now, I will say there's a scene, apparently, Chicken Rancher. I don't know what that means, but when that happens, all the kids have been going wild, and police are getting called to the movie theater to get everybody to calm down. So if you go, behave yourself.
It's Coffee Country and Cody from the Opry Plaza in the Simply Superior A-Cup House studio this morning.
From WSM Radio, this is Coffee Country and Cody.
From Nashville, Tennessee, home of the Tennessee Titans, Coffee Country and Cody welcomes the Titan of Twang.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, because he was not an athlete, a quality athlete that could play for the Titans in the football world. So he became the Titan of Twang on Music Row in Nashville, Tennessee. Jim Lauderdale.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And by the way, so when you do you ever have any guests? By the way, I'm going to segue to something a little off topic, but do you ever have guests that when you're talking and you're saying something, they're kind of moving their lips, kind of like they're reading your lips? Do you ever have that?
No, I can't
We
recall.
do now.
My wife famously tells me
Ventriloquism.
if I show her something that I have done, I will lip sync with myself. As I'm watching me, I'm lip sync, and I'll laugh when I think I'm funny.
Well,
Apparently, I'm my own best fan. So you and I share a lot together, Jim. It's
good.
Explains a lot.
Endearing trait you got going there.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You know, you have a nice part of history in the annals of WSM. You were our very last guest at our hotel studio after
right.
40 years at the Gaylord Opryland Resort and Convention Center.
That's right.
Hey, nothing like a Jim Lauderdale performance to shut a place down. is what I'm saying.
That's why. Hey, if I had $1 for every time I heard a promoter say that, I'd be a rich man.
Did your car just naturally try to drive over there this morning instead of coming here? I
Yes.
wondered, yeah.
And hey, by the way, I don't know if you guys noticed anything new and different this morning
You
about
mean
me.
on your person?
Well, you're warm. You're warm.
Okay.
No rhinestones this morning.
No rhinestones, but it's early.
Okay.
I got out of my rhinestone pajamas just a little while ago. But what's different is I was actually a couple minutes early.
Yes,
No more of the calls of like, hey, there's a lot of traffic this morning. I'm going to probably roll in there right before I've got to get on mic. So I just wanted to give you a heads up.
Nice. Well, now that you know where we are and you've been here, you can be late next time.
Exactly. Well, hey, wait! Don't
On time,
put that.
on
Don't
time.
put that out
No.
into the universe.
Just on time. Just on time.
Yeah.
Right on time.
Well, Jim has completed 37 albums. My favorite place was the last one. And you said, How long before we get the 38th?
I hope April. The new single. Oh
This-
wait, this is
This
April.
is April, yeah.
7th.
Hopefully,
later this
either
month?
by the end of this month
Okay.
or early May. But this single will be coming out soon.
Well, and we're going to feature that here in just a little bit. It's called Artificial Intelligence. But I want to go back to that 37th album. And Glide Magazine, something you posted, said, "This is as pure as it gets. A torchbearer for the traditional country sound of pedal steel, fiddle, and twangy Telecasters. This could be straight out of the golden era of country music." And here you are celebrating folks like Dwayne Eddy and Bobby Bear, and I'm so happy for you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, you know what? It really means a lot to be an observer and an occasional participant in country music. And I'm real grateful to you guys. And thank you for all y'all do,
Well,
because it's really important.
And you know, Kelly, Charlie, it was said of Bill Anderson, as I first got to town some 30 years ago, here was a guy who was able to stay right in that golden era, one foot there, the other foot, firmly planted in what was going on in the modern day.
Yeah.
And
he still is.
yeah, and you have that too. You're following up in that tradition, I think.
Well, that foot sometimes might be wearing Crocs, but I try to keep that foot.
Will you be sporting those Crocs when you show up at the Basement
Yeah.
East for Bear,
That's right.
the big celebration?
Well, now tonight I will be wearing boots. For
Okay,
that.
good.
Boy, that is going to be an exciting
Isn't it?
show.
Did you meet him early on in your Nashville travels?
Fairly early, and then
Because he loves songwriters.
and you know what?
He loves and promotes them and helps them.
He sure does, and he is he's a songs friend and a songwriter's friend, and an artist's friend. He is just such a warm, gracious guy, and just he's kind of in some ways a quiet guy, and unassuming, but what a giant he has been through these years, and what a singer, and and to the songs he's chosen through the years, the songs he's written, he's just, and he really is one of those men that when you meet him, it's like, wow, I can't believe I'm meeting this legend, and he's just.
Well, this entire week is a big Bobby Bear hug, according to Bear Jr., who was in
great
the
way
other
to
day.
put
it.
And he reminds me of little Jimmy Dickens in that he is very, when you talk about he's kind of quiet and reserved, he's very observational. And then later on in this, wherever you are, he will come with something and you'll go, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been listening.
He's been paying
Not
attention this whole time.
Yeah.
Do you know what song you get to do tonight?
Tonight I'm gonna do Miller's Cave and Four Strong Winds.
He drags their cheating bones to Miller's Cave.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had it coming.
Nothing
Now,
like a good murder song.
It is. And something interesting about Bobby Bear that I've found now, like many people, I did listen to country music as I was listening to rock music as a kid, but some people got turned on to country music through rock, and country rock, like when the Byrds did that album, Sweetheart of the Rodeo, and then one of the members, Graham Parsons, went on to do some really important things in country that brought a lot of, at that time in the early 70s, younger folks into country music that had been listening to rock. And he had a group called the International Submarine Band, and I believe it was 1967, and they cut Miller's Cave. And then he, with Emmylou Harris, cut The Streets of Baltimore. And that he heard those through a Bobby Bear record.
Yeah. And are you familiar with the Hank Snow version of Miller's Cave?
Yeah.
Miller's Cave.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they would have been label mates at RCA.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, Jim Lauderdale is here this morning on Coffee, Country, and Cody. That's always a good thing. Tell me about Titans of Twang and the celebration with Dwayne Eddy.
Okay, now
and that unmistakable signature guitar of his.
Yes, Dwayne Eddy was such a great guy, too. Very, very quiet guy. He, you'd kind of, when you'd meet him, you'd think, wow, this is some Hollywood actor, matinee idol that's moved here to Nashville. But, you know, we knew that was Dwayne Eddy, and sadly he passed this last year. And he...
Not before he got his star in the Music City Walk of Fame.
That's right. Yeah. And that, I know that meant a lot to
Yeah,
him.
oh, absolutely.
He was such an accomplished guitar player and kind of came up with this sound of his own, which was kind of like hearing a thunderclap, you know, combined with lightning that influenced a lot of people guitar-wise, folks like George Harrison, my friend Buddy Miller. Steve Earle used that sound a lot on his albums, his guitar players. And and so there's a huge list of A-list folks this coming Sunday at the Opry House that are going to pay tribute and celebrate Dwayne's life.
At Opry.com for tickets and information,
Yeah.
if you would, for the 13th at the Opry House. Vince Gill, Peter Frampton, Joe Bonamassa, Albert Lee, Jim Lauderdale, and many others.
Well, you mentioned Buddy and Steve Earle. They'll both
Yeah.
be there with you on Sunday as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Molly Tuttle, she can play.
Molly Tuttle
she
will
can
be there
play.
too.
Recently, in my coming and going, like in the last couple of days, heard you and Buddy doing the train that carried my girl from town.
Is that another death song or?
No.
No, he wants to kill this guy.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
The engineer.
So it wasn't like a
Premeditated.
funeral train.
He
No,
wants
it's
to kill the-
premeditated. He's working
yeah.
on it. Yeah.
Killed the engineer of the train who was taking his girl from town, as I recall.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of the storyline, how it goes.
Yeah,
I can't
that's an
remember. Did he?
old song.
No. Oh, is it?
Yeah, that is, and Buddy and I cut it, gosh, about 13 years ago now when we did our album. But I first heard it on a Mike Seeger album, and Doc Watson did it too.
Oh, well.
And, but it's sure always fun to work with Buddy and to see him. He's one of my oldest friends.
Well, that's the older stuff. Let's go to the newer stuff, like the brand new stuff that'll be on your forthcoming album later this month, if that all works out. And we continue with Jim Lauderdale. This is called Artificial Intelligence. Tell us more about AI.
Well, you know, it's a topic that we all hear about it every day. You can't get away from it. And I, sadly, am kind of what you'd call a Luddite. I've been late to the table about anything with technology. But artificial intelligence, I'm not sure. You know, there's part of it I think, wow, that's interesting, and part of me is like, I don't know.
That's the scariest thing I've ever heard,
Yeah,
right?
I definitely. I mean, if it does have some good benefits for humanity, then I'm all for it. Now, I am against, in the music world, for it to, you know, come up with something. It could never replace, you know, creating music or performing it, you know. So, but it bothers me that it could eat into a lot of income for musicians and things. But so we'll see where it goes. Now, I was wrong about the internet. Now, I thought that fad would go away in a few years, but it's still here, and it's helpful. It is helpful.
Artificial intelligence. This is Jim Lauderdale from his forthcoming album.
This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Grand Ole Opry this weekend, April the 13th. Jim Lauderdale hosts and performs in celebration of the life and career of Dwayne Eddy, Titan of Twang. And I was just looking at the list. I pulled up the full list at Opry.com. Peter Frampton, Vince Gill, Albert Lee, Joe Bonamassa, Steve Earle, Beth Nielsen Chapman, Buddy Miller, Molly Tuttle, J.D. McPherson, Slim Jim Phantom, Toby Lee, the Del McCurry Band, Grace Bowers, and again, your host, Jim Lauderdale.
I'm really looking forward to that. And by the way, Friday night, my birthday, I will be performing at the Opry to kind of kick off the first night of the 39 and Holding tour.
I like it.
I'll be doing for the rest of the year.
I thought you and Bobby Bear would just both celebrate your 90th birthdays. Just
Oh my!
Well, that's very flattering. I appreciate it. No, and tonight, and I'll tell you what, Bear Jr. has done a great job with putting this show together
he
tonight.
has. Yeah.
He's such a wonderful guy.
Well, he described it again. If you missed it earlier, or didn't see or hear that interview, that it's just a great big old week-long Bobby Bear hug.
Yeah.
For all he has done in the lives that he's touched.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to the studio later today, you told me?
Yeah, I'm going to be cutting some things today over at Blackbird, and so I'll be
And you're finishing some songs?
going to finish after I leave here. See, the adrenaline after I leave here, it's like sometimes after a show, that adrenaline is going, and then,
Yeah.
I can write better.
We heard artificial intelligence earlier, and I asked if you'd ever put your name into Chat GPT, which is an AI bot. So I asked Chat GPT, tell me about Jim Lauderdale. It said Jim Lauderdale is one of those rare artists who's both a musician's musician and a songwriter's songwriter. He's wildly respected in country, Americana, and bluegrass circles. Even if he's not exactly a household name outside of those genres, what makes him stand out is that he's constantly pushing musical boundaries.
You know
They
what?
know of you. Look at this.
You know something?
The bots love you.
I think I like artificial intelligence now. I mean, I apologize for, okay, this song now, I mean, it's just a novelty song. And I mean, it's really good.
Be nice to the
Artificial
bots.
intelligence is really
It says
good.
you're a prolific songwriter, goes on to say you're genre blending. He was before his time, just all kinds of great things.
And he's rare, it says right there at the top. And I
Rare.
remember when I first met him, he was just medium rare. And now he's rare. Rarefied air through the years. You got that guitar in your lap. Go ahead and get warmed up for this session you got to go to over at Blackbird later.
And here, this song tonight, Emmylou Harris and Buddy Miller are going to do it. I got to do it several years ago on the Marty Stewart show, the TV show, which was such a great show.
Oh, it was.
God, I love Marty so much, and the Fabulous Superlatives. I think one of the best bands, period.
I would agree.
There. So this is a song that Harlan Howard, my old friend, wrote with Tom Paul Glaser.
You got it all, baby. Yes, you did. Streets of Baltimore. What a classic. I'd forgotten Tom Paul was a part of that with Harlan.
Yeah. And you know what? Bobby told me one time, he said, I lived in in California for a while out on Long Beach, and he and Harlan Howard were roommates renting a place from Wynn Stewart's mother, and Wynn Stewart lived there too. And Bobby went in business and had a nightclub for country music back then. And Lefty Frizzell was their first act on New Year's Eve.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, that's just, that blew my mind when he told me that.
Well, Jim Lauderdale, tonight, as you watch this, that may be a bit dated, but he's celebrating the life of Bobby Bear, one of the week-long celebration shows. There will be 3 before it's all said and done.
Yeah.
And then on SundayOpry.com has all the details and tickets as you are the host of Titan of Twang. That's Dwayne Eddy's memory celebrated. And then you hop on a bus and you head to Columbus, Ohio, Hagerstown, Maryland. That's close to Baltimore. Woodstock, New York, Portland, Maine, North Andover, Massachusetts, and Charlie Meadows, Providence, Rhode Island.
There we go. My hometown. I love that.
All that in just that next week, 10 days, you're going to be on the road.
Before we let you go, I always like to try and get an update on the Code E project. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I know you were looking. It was financing issues the last time we talked about it. But I don't know if you're casting yet, because Kelly and I recently, did a stint as DJs for an upcoming feature film. So I don't know if you're still casting Cody.
Well, you guys could play yourselves. I mean, I'll be playing Bill. But that would be, that's a great idea.
And for those not familiar, though, the premise of Code E.
Well, it's me playing Bill and directing and producing the show, too. But it'll either be, I can't decide on whether to just go with the networks or to do one of the streaming services or go to
Streaming's
HBO.
where it's at. Streaming's
for
where it's
this.
at.
And, but we're still waiting on some of the investors to come through because, but anyway, the premise of the show is me portraying Bill, but also is a secret agent and government law enforcement
kind of where James Bond and Jason Bourne.
Yes, that's right. A lot of action, but also on the side a surgeon. Heart surgeon and brain surgeon, and lawyer.
Yeah, it's a heck of a script.
And one of those TSI things, not TSA, but the forensic scientist,
like Quincy. Back in the day. Okay. Yeah.
So it's just, I mean, gosh, it is. I'm real excited about it, and sometimes things take a while.
Yeah, sometimes decades.
Sometimes decades. Yeah.
You should talk to.
But it's worth the wait. It just gets better with age.
You should talk to Dan Rogers. If no one gets sick for a while, maybe we could divert some Opry Trust Fund to fund Code E.
Jim Lauderdale, you are a jewel, man.
Well, hey,
thank you so much.
It's great to be with you guys. Thank you.
Congratulations on that new album that comes out later in the month, and Artificial Intelligence will be on there. Jim Lauderdale, he's a regular at the Opry. He's on Coffee, Country, and Cody.
More Coffee, Country, and Cody is on WSM.
And thanks again to Jim Lauderdale, Carter Faith, for joining us on Coffee, Country, and Cody today. And Jim, he's a part of a lot of things going on in town this week, including tonight at the Basement. He will be a part of tonight's Basement East celebration of Bobby Bear's 90th birthday, and he's hosting on Sunday the Life and Times and Music of Dwayne Eddy, Titan of Twang.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun show.
It's a who's who. And it was 5 years ago today. I would be remiss if I didn't remember to mention our friend John Prine.
Oh, yeah. Took you to Muhlenberg County early this morning on the show.
Man. I hate that he's gone.
The air smelled like snakes. We would shoot with our pistols, and empty pop bottles is all we would kill.
Oh.
Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County?
Well, we are sending out all the best to our friend Ronnie Dunn. He's doing okay, but he did have one of those nights where it's playing an encore. He's in the middle of Boot Scootin' Boogie, and he looks at everybody and goes, "You know the words, sing it." And then he looked at his guy and went, and walked off the side of the stage.
I think Kix was heard to whisper, "Told you not to eat the sushi."
Kix was like, "Turn me up. It's my time to shine." Yeah, he was battling COVID and strep throat about a month ago.
I did not know that. I read that in the article.
That's like a 1-2 punch, man. Now, he came
ever.
back out on stage. That was Thursday night. He was back out on stage on Friday, and they said he sounded fine. So hopefully everything is okay. They are continuing on their tour. So if you still have ticket dates, you should be fine if you've got tickets going forward. But just in case.
The funny thing was, I watched that video.
Yeah.
He sounded fine, even not feeling well.
Right.
It wasn't like he lost his voice. I think his body had enough.
And I think he'd given out at the end.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm done.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. Kick stepped in to do Only in America.
He sure did.
Did he do what the players do? Tap the top of his head?
No,
No, he
just
gave
did
the neck. He goes,
And then kicks.
the
No, he should do
slash.
that. Do that like that. I got to come out,
nice.
coach. I got to come out, coach.
That's nice. Carrie Underwood stepped in with Papa Roach. I did not expect to see this. So apparently they were Papa Roach performing in Las Vegas. And so she jumped on stage with them. That was at the MGM Grand Arena in Las Vegas. Her set is over at Resorts World. So she's still doing that. Her Reflection residency is coming to an end. She's only got a couple more shows left. But Papa Roach and she released a song together a while back. And so this was the first time they actually got to do it live. You've heard it before in the recorded version. Now, speaking of her residency, since it's coming to an end, somebody said, what are you going to keep? You got all kinds of cool stuff. And she said, I might keep my throne. Apparently, the props people made her a throne out of an old Cadillac. So you can see it here if you're watching us. But she apparently said, this is perfect for my living room. I'm going to put it right in my living room. I'm going to sit on my throne. I'm going to crochet while my dog sits in my lap. There are headlights attached to it, and she does sing 2 black Cadillacs sitting from her throne. So I'm sure that Mike is looking at that thinking, where are we going to fit that into this house?
No, Mike, it's Your Royal Highness.
Thank you.
Where will we
You know
fit
what
this
he's
in
thinking
our
right
house?
now? I will see your throne and raise you 2 deer head wherever I want. There's a negotiation happening.
He should put a net right in front of it so he can shoot from the.
It does look like a goal.
Doesn't
It's
it?
massive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Oh, that's funny.
From the blue line. With Charlie Matos, that's Kelly Sutton, Andy Nye, our studio director, and Master Control Joel Wilson. I'm Bill Cody. Yeah, and all the performers this morning from our Assembly Food Hall stage. We thank Jim Lauderdale and Carter Faith again, and the Simply Superior Springer Mountain Farm Studio on the Grand Ole Opry Plaza in the A-Cuff House.
And we're going to have a good time tomorrow with Dusty Slay in studio.
Good call, Charlie Matos.
Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Was